All right, good morning. Got some charts up here. Inflation's back. Something to worry about. I was laughing. I typed into the room there this morning. The lady on Fox News says it's hotter, hotter. Said 8 times. It's hotter than expected. It's hotter. All right. So, does it mean something? Maybe. It meant something for 5, 10 minutes. And so, where did prices come down to initially? Of course, they came down to support right there and stabilized. So while the selling was fast and furious, buyers are sitting there on the bid, assuming this little turn that we talked about yesterday happening, which happened. And then the Microsoft news came out and markets got a little bit of a shock and things kind of went dead from there. So, news aside, factory work, where are prices right now? We still got 25 minutes to go. This gap down potentially, I don't like the way it came down, but just looking at the daily chart, let me back up for a second. If this was in a stronger uptrend, meaning it didn't retrace this far, and you get a pullback within an uptrend that doesn't have a deep retracement, and yesterday was a green bar, typically a gap down like this one would be buyable, right? The buyers aren't going to step away. The depth of this retracement opens up the possibility that this bar, and that was one of the scenarios I explained, turns into a continuation pattern lower. So earlier in the week, right? Remember the thoughts, right? We got this deep retracement. It came down to an area of major support. Our expectation was a short-term bounce, stabilization on the bounce. We got it. Is the bounce over? Not sure yet. Today makes it look like yes. So now we have to see, does it recover from this, or does it stay in the bottom half of this bar? And so if we get a red bar today, that opens up the door to measured move next week into the next numbers, right? So pull back, tries to make the turn. Maybe it continues, we'll see yet, but red day that closes down here or so, we'll think, you'll hear me say that Monday, measured move lower, right? With resistance being that, today's high, whatever that might be. Okay. I got my little alert down here, and looking at the futures. There's a little crack. It didn't retrace that far, but really not a big deal. Not a big deal because it was working its way up right to the report and then nailed, and right over there, there's that little congestion that we put there yesterday. So it was pushing up above that on the report, and then it got smacked, which says, okay, barring some miracle, right, that negates this bar, I don't think so. It already, coming down here. We're going to be in a trading range. I am tired, Alex. Had a wonderful evening with McGraw and Debbie and Dan. It was a lot of fun. Maybe you had a couple of cocktails there and took a little energy, but it was fun. Yeah. So trading range is what I see for today. A trading range. I don't think it's going to crack down below 3,900 S&Ps. I don't think it's getting back above today's high. And I didn't sleep so good. Anyway, you know. So last I wrote down 46. The juice is popping now more than it was. 4060, no brainer. I don't think there's any more news. So 4060, that's far away. So, it's opening down here should be a no brainer. Now, the downside, 3888, 3888. Now, it's a little tighter, but 3900's in front of it. That's going to be a big level for it to hit. So we still got these pivots that it's above. It's not as much a no-brainer as the top side, but 3888. Just double check it. 3885, 988, 3885. So now that it's down a little bit, 3880, it's 3880 is 80 by 85 now. So you can get down here, 3885. I think that'll be okay. But the one up there, that premium's probably evaporating a little bit. 30, 40, 60, 40, 65. So far enough away, 200 MA up there. And so it ain't going up there today. The markets, it's just a mess now. Anybody new to this should be thinking automatically as I'm doing this. Look to the left. Just look to the left. Void. We talked about the void. Right? A lot of questions about that in MT Live. Momentum move, sideways correction, movement through time creates a void. Close the void. Sellers are there. Now trading range until probably next week. Right? There you go. Make it red. Same story. How do you have a gap in NQ? Well, I guess it filled the gap. I don't know. 15, 16. I don't know. Bad data. Gap there. The gap. If you guys don't have gaps, yeah, I did that to get more data the other day for whatever reason. But there's the gap. If nobody else has the gap, well, your data must be wrong. I don't know. The Dow was stronger. It got above that area, but now getting slammed back down. But they all have the gap. Maybe eSignal had a problem last night. I don't know. Anyway, pretty much the same patterns everywhere. Interesting. Market internal still not giving us any edge here. Guidance, just neutral still. And Bitcoin, nothing. The dollar kind of whipping all around there. Yeah, within this trading range. Move to resistance. Yeah, I think it's going to be a kind of a whippy day today as markets try and get their footing to figure out, the bounce from the support to dealing with this news. I guess that was not expected. We had a lot of weekly charts. It was this, or there was plenty of them. Things close to resistance. See, that's been the weakest one all year, or one of them, not turning back down again. So it's okay. Bulls are, they're losing it here. They're losing their opportunity. Yeah, it's my Ninja Trader adjusted for the Dow and the Russell yesterday. So that's probably it, the change from contracts. Yeah. You usually wait until after Friday to do the adjustment, Rob, and to switch to the other contract when the volume picks up. That explains it. Anyway, yeah. After spending some time with Debbie last night, must be, my brain just not functioning the way it normally did. So I didn't think of that. She was a lot of fun, by the way. All right. Ready? I think today is going to be within that trading range, which is relatively wide. So we'll see which way things might go. But I see it, top of the range, bottom of the range. And I was not going up there. And 3,900 is a big level as far as the options go. So if it was to be hanging down here and we were going into 12 o'clock and it started building a base down here, that could change things. Because when they're down at support like that and a big whole number, obviously related to options, it could open up the door, but we'll have to see how that unfolds. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, I agree. That was going to be my response when you said, "Oh, it could be a boring range day," with the velocity of that down move on news. And if we don't, I'm just eyeballing it over here. We bounced less than a third. Than that, if we don't bounce in 10:30, then I think we could get the start of the measured move today.
It's got to go pretty far. So, I mean, if you look at the S&Ps, they're sitting here at 3978, which is around yesterday's close. So they have to drop all the way back down to that bottom. So on SPX, they've got to drop all the way back down to yesterday's low and those 2 days. And then from there, if they can't bounce after a couple of hours, that's when we might start to move lower. But initially, I don't think that'll happen.
No, I agree. But I'm saying, look, pre-market, we went through yesterday's low, spiders. Held Wednesday's low, and here we got less than a third. So if this goes sideways for 2 hours, then yeah, my bias is lower in the afternoon. Yeah. All right. So we did 4 earnings trades last night. Let's see. Daku. I mean, I was shocked how much juice there was in the $35 puts. We sold them for 40 cents, and you could have gone as high as you wanted to get as much juice as you wanted for the distance from the short strike that you wanted. And so that was a nice trade. I said, just let it expire at full profit. I don't even want to pay a penny for it because it's expiring today. Costco, climactic buy setup in the earnings. It's down a little bit here, but with 99.9% certainty, we're gonna have a beautiful open game. Why? Because our strike is 440. We're $37 away from 0 DTE. Now, if this can recoup, or even close inside day, whatever the case, then I like this for Monday over yesterday's high. Restoration hardware we did. Another one down a little bit. It's going to be an inside bar, but we did way the heck out of the money, the 220s or 225s. So it's going to be perfect. So this is the only one that's going to be, I got to keep an eye on. Lulu, we 346, strong uptrend, buy setup. We did the 325s, way down here between the 50 and 200 MA. So that is an ugly gap. There's no question about it. But we got $21 of cushion. So my goal on this is to, get out at a nickel, a dime, and if it starts to turn ugly, hopefully worst case scenario is a break even. Netflix here, we did a put spread, beautiful buy setup, the best looking FANG for a swing trade, and it's gapping up in a weak market. That's relative strength. And it's gapping up here almost a 320. So not a good place to enter it long, but let's watch on a pullback. Let's see what else we got here for earnings. Abgo. I did want to sell a put spread on this, but there wasn't enough juice. Gapping up, no great pattern, but strong. Chewy. A bearish gap, but it's on support. Got to come back to you. Cool. I can't see a gap. Mountain 260. Bullish gap at the resistance. Manu. This is this Manchester soccer team, had buyout rumors, started way back here. And it's opening, fairly flat, nothing to do there. But PHR. This upward spread idea, I can't see where it's opening though. Curved, nasty gap, all-time lows, it looks like. I don't know what they do, but that could be headed to the graveyard. I don't short stocks under $5, preferably under 8. CMTL gapping up. Look, again, for new people, I have this tiny little weekly and monthly. Because even though it's extended now, what caught my eye was, look at this beautiful W bottom. Same over here, W bottom with a big old price void. So I think this could go to $16 and it's at 14. So you got to decide, do I feel like watching this for a week to see if it pulls in and gives me a setup? LI, little EV stock, 23 and change, no pattern. These are just miscellaneous stocks. This is one from the last few days. This Alex has been trading. Splunk we got into yesterday and sold a put spread, buy setup, WRB reversal. That was earnings. Domo shows it up 6 cents. I don't see a print, but I'm going to set an alarm at 15:30 because it's a bottoming pattern. It'd be a breakout on the daily. Or 15:20 actually. RQ, I sold puts on this yesterday myself, the 42s. A little bit spready, but I'll keep an eye on it for getting subscribers in. ISRG has been strong. I wanted a put spread, but it was There's two illiquid. DLR, Debbie actually gave me this one, little head and shoulders. Under yesterday's low, could start off with a day trade short. ATBI, the Justice Department is suing Microsoft. I'm surprised it's not down more. Microsoft, I think, is totally unrelated to that news because this move looks almost identical to the Qs. So I personally don't attribute any of this to that news. It's BBWI. Strong, but getting extended. Now we go up, a couple more watch from the other day. And Juniper, kind of a sloppy buy setup, but uptrend. Raul asking about Sony long. No. It's an M top. I mean, it's down a bit, but it made a lower low. So it would just be a bounce and a downtrend. But there's so many better patterns out there. For example, look at URI. Look at this beautifulness. That's a bullish rectangle into the 20, couple two gap downs negated, closing breakout. This is way superior. So let me put that in a window. I like him. Looks like it's gapping up a little bit, but on light volume. So gapping up $3 in a weak market is quite the relative strength. Alan asking about RXDX. That sounds like a bio. Isn't it funny how the symbols, I can immediately say that sounds like a bio. He said, is this a gap and crap? Not a quality one, and now it's actually gapping down a little bit. It is far from the 20, but the 15 is still higher high, higher lows is the problem. But maybe 30-minute low, if it can just go sideways here and not bounce. And Snap, gapping down to 920. Yeah. You could, short a bounce, 15-minute low, whatever the case, stop pre-market high. You got to avoid to probably eyeballing, 850. Kerbal was one that tanked on earnings. And I missed the bounce yesterday, but 15-minute high would have been perfect. It was a gap, filled the gap, range expansion bar. IT a buy setup, a sloppy one it is. A buy setup is a pullback and reversal and support in an uptrend. But this one started from a breakout failure. So that's not a quality one. Juniper also is a buy setup I'm watching. Is it AIG? AIG was one also, little buy setup there. ISRG, that's another little buy setup. So see how these are a little better because they didn't start from that ugly breakout failure. What else? MPLN, bottoming pattern. OGN, we bought yesterday a little this textbook bull flag. Here's your flag pole, 30-degree counter trend, little consolidation. No, I did not mention that. Yeah, there's another buy setup. Buy setup. We got higher high, higher low, up to 20, 50, nice closing engulfing reversal here, went up 3. Yeah, so that's actually a better buy setup. And the problem is it's gapping a bit here, but it still has a void up here to the low 7s. So you can watch a pullback on that, sure. And flat, that's a beautiful breakout. That's a breakout trade. So we got to keep an eye on the Qs and the semis before I would have any interest in that. As of right now, this third bounce off the pre-market low and already struggling is kind of, we still, I think we need at least an hour, but it's supporting the camp of we get a breakdown today. This region, it broke out yesterday, topping tail, but it's still worth watching. That's why it's on my list. Bottoming pattern, GWRE. Oh, this had earnings. That's what earnings on Wednesday. I was looking to sell the puts, but it's too spready. The demise of L. Really interesting. Yeah, some dude was on CNBC saying Tesla is grossly overpriced, and he gave it a value of $85, and he saying the obvious also of how distracted Elon is. I have an alarm on this at 170. That's a gap closing breakdown. This is a measured move. Setup also. So you got the 2-bar jiggle. So we'll take a look at it at 170. Target maybe 160. And it easily as a $10 target. Yext, I missed the breakout yesterday, but I was watching it here for a couple days as it digested that earnings igniting breakout. Coin looks horrible. Look at that, it's at all-time lows. Had a green bar, now it's a small engulfing bar. So, this whole FTX thing is shaking up the sector, and Sammy Boy said he would testify for Maxine Waters, I guess. Mr. Just dead money here, but I'll keep an eye on it to sell a put spread. Tesla up a little, the others down a little, Microsoft down the most of the things. Here's Bitcoin. Little breakout failure there. Apple's pretty flat. Amazon's been weak. Google flat. Domo up alarm. Let's put that in a window here. I have Costco on the other computer. Domo. The Lulu spreads have to be absolutely ludicrous because I got never mind, that's a different trade because I have a credit to close my put spread, and that's just not humanly possible. So that's telling me it's all right. I got the Costco at 2 cents. 2 cents I was filled. I guess so, yeah. Because I had naked puts. So I'm out. I got out of mine at 2 cents. Yeah, so you can close Costco at 2 cents. All right, so done with Costco. All right, RH is coming in at, oh, that's an ugly gap. Let's see what the midpoint is on this one. All right, I got a nice open profit. All right, it's 10 cents, 225. I'm just gonna kill it. I was bidding a nickel. I was bidding a nickel, didn't get filled, so I paid a dime. So I'm done with him. Yeah, see, we're getting wide range bars down. All right, I just got filled on Lulu. 29 cents. Let's look at Domo rocking here, this little window. All right, so I'm out of Lulu. All right, I'm out of all three. And then Daku. Daku, that's up to you if you want to pay a penny or let it expire worthless. All right, so Greg, that's another 4 winning earnings trades. We're 60 for 63. So even with that Lulu thing, we made over 50% of max profit.
PFE making new highs, breaking out of an end of day base intraday. So that
Who?
could be PFE. It's got some junk over there to the left, but it's whippy stuff. So looks like it can go a bit higher.
Yeah, we're I mean, 5-minute horsemen are just whipping around here with like directionless. Oh yeah, Netflix. Yeah. Oh, let's see what the midpoint is. OGN up alarm. That's yours, Alex, from yesterday. Yeah, Netflix right now is 4 cent midpoint. I'm bidding 2 to get out. We got the 300s. Looks pretty darn good for today, unless the shit hits the fan. Yes, I'm gonna just hold mine. Daku. I'm just so I don't have to babysit it. I'm gonna buy the 38.5 puts to get a free put spread for a penny. And then it just means, you know, I don't have to worry about it. But there's nothing wrong with letting it expire worthless. Got them all. All right, so I'm done with all my earnings trades.